Today, the second day of February 2021. Finally, university students then go resume studies back tomorrow, the 3rd of February 2021. How this been come about? If you don't follow we don't deal with this particular issue. Now, yeah, you go no say the ministers them we don't tell the Academic Staff Association say not only the president of Sierra Leone now ain't go able for solve them problem. Now ain't go able for solve them problem. And we know say Dr. William James we now the president for the Academic Staff Association. You doing you know. If na noise you want for call them, if na attention you want make turn to them, you do them. Then at the end of the day, then finally meet with the president today. Then tomorrow, university, they open. It gonna make you wonder, say, what to make it take this long? If they know say, now only the president of Sierra Leone now ain't go able for end the impasse between the government and ASA. Okay, what's inside this new deal? We go Kanyeri. But for now, make we check what in Nakovac gets for we today. Nakovac say na 895 tests na in the labs they analyze. 895 tests now in the labs they analyze. Out of that 895 day, Saloon gets 26 positive cases. Even though we don't want one positive case safe, but as compared to 165, 146, then we get 26 today. Yesterday we get 41. Then we see waiting tomorrow they carry it. Maybe it go to fall more and more. Then we go on for say waiting. But anyway, now then we get today 26. For breaking down, Western area urban 16, Western area rural 8, Bo 1, and Kenema 1. That one day, Nigeria 26. Because of the 26 new cases them we get today, the total confirmed positive cases don't reach 3,660. For the past 24 hours, we no lost nobody to COVID-19, so we still stand at 79. The active cases them na isolation 1,241. For the past 24 hours, 11 people be beat COVID-19 na Salon. With that one day, don't give we a total number of 2,340 people we don't beat COVID na Salon. The one them with in quarantine na 509, and the one them with on discharge from quarantine na 13,672. Mano River Union countries. For today, Salon 26, Guinea 9. Where you see Guinea get 9 today? Trust me, you go see 3 people later can. Or they can't tomorrow. I go remind you. Liberia 5. That one in the room. Hey. You don't get nothing for talk about today. Lord just left them so yeah. Ivory Coast 76. Ivory Coast in not agree. Nobody need a passer. We go down, it go down with we. We go up, it go up with we. In a so no idea. And for today, we get 116 positive cases them at the Mano River Union countries them. And for the cumulative debt, Salone 79, Guinea 83, Liberia 84, Ivory Coast 156. That one they give you 492. I be engaged Nakovac today. For say I talked to somebody and the person not even know say we COVID-19 numbers them don't really they go up. They tell me say, oh well, tell God thank you better when I just 2-3 no more now they get. So that one day be make I be get for ask na Nakovac today say how the community engagement they go. Because people in still dinner salon where they don't know say we numbers don't change. Them feel say we still they get that 2-3. And then we get for tell we say well then they on community to community engagement. They don't start them. I think we have to do more. Then say if I agree, say we really need for do more so that more people go aware. Say no, it's different now. Now they say we get second wave according to Africa CDC. Because I see where people and they see they say second wave now West Africa. And they say, oh, size salon pull well according to Africa CDC. And then say a second wave. Okay. Now to we program proper. For today, after they don't meet with presidentbio, the University of Sierra Leone, they resume all academic activities. When? Tomorrow. You did out? How then they come about? Well, let me don't talk and plain one. For say, now only the president of Sierra Leone, now ain't for able for talk to Asa, or now ain't Asa for able for go lay complaint to, for making them problem solve. The Minister of Labor tell Asa that. The Minister of Education at that time been tell Asa. So the Academic Staff Association back be they make noise so that the president go hear them voice. So that the attention where they need, the president go render them to them. And it finally come to pass. Even there was a kind of sort of press release where in the past, I don't know if it was authentic though, where then they call out the president of ASA, Dr. Willis James, say they go out there, they try for, say they do things in the name of the association, but it's not a lie. All kind of bad thing, but you know these days, the thing that they see on social media, if you know how they absorb them. But for today on, it's authentic. You wanna know what happen? Through State House. Let me listen. How State House explain to me and you, yeah? He said the Academic Staff Association of Public Universities, they meet presidentbio and they don't agree for return to work. He said this one happened at State House. Who's our status day? He says status day na free tongue. And this particular time will be Tuesday, the February 2nd, 2021. He said the Academic Staff Association of the Universities and the Polytechnics, where na inside salute they all day, they don't promise for call off the industrial action and resume classes on the 3rd of February 2021. After they don't accept on Tuesday the commitment made by who? His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, President Julius Maada Bio, on behalf of the government of Sierra Leone. According to this agreement between the government and the universities of Sierra Leone, this are the university them. And it's by Kuroma University of Science and Technology, Jala University, Milton Magai College of Education and Technology, and Freetown Teachers College. You don't hear the universities, them not so. Strategic discussion go continue on governance and quality assurance in the higher education institution. So in order for Dondio, strategic discussion go continue. Government meets almost no means saying all. Government meets almost all waiting then they ask for. All waiting and demand for. Key among the government meet na for say then they review the proposed 50% salary adjustment. Remember, then they ask for 100%. Government begin across the board 25% where themselves be included. So then say, oh, included this and that and what's not. And say no, they don't want. Then still team up for waiting for that the 100%. But look how the game play now. Where the president, His Excellency Julius Madabio, step in for solve, because all man be don't talk say not only in able for solve this. For say 50% salary adjustment by providing another 25% salary increase for all tertiary institution effective 1st April in addition to the 25%. So this April, now 50% then they get. The president is landing boy. Where we go for that meeting? Waiting be go talking. He say money no dey. Then we don't give them 25%. That's it. You think say the president is landing boy, if this deal we then get so now in be go with yanda, this one not for be don't end? This one not for be don't end? Or then be they call for the attention of the Ministry of Finance. Then be they call for the attention of the higher education, the tertiary. Then call for the all attention. But all waiting be they say they know the problem. We know the problem, but we don't have money. COVID-19, we know the problem. Somebody can catch. Dr. William James for say, hey, una go see the president. No, go see the president. It happen, yeah? And NSF begin. Now the president wants see. And then throw away the president in landing boy day. But they not get a good deal for good talk about. He go, nothing in okay go. Man, I will do the last program. All waiting, he go talk say, government no get money, COVID day. Now he go talk day. So why them be send and they? Where they no say good deal be the or you know say you get for keep am for the last, So if they be accept that ending now, well it was all good. Ministry of Information and Communication, then go then make placard, for say 25%. Okay. Let's continue. Udoyeri say, come April, then they add 25% for them. But then we say, now almost, not to all. Not to so. On the issue of waiving tax on leave allowances. Because that didn't we get people we get people where they say they're supposed for charge tax on the leave allowances, then supposed for charge tax, they're not supposed for charge tax, they're supposed for charge. Okay. That one they come up that day where the president be there, take the high table for solve the matter. Now, the president say, on behalf of the government of Salone. On the issue of waiving tax on leave allowances, the government represented by the ministries of finance, because now they all number one do. Ministry of Finance and Technical and Higher Education observe that this one, if they do them, it go against the Constitution. Hey! Salone. Oh no, they do anything where they go against the Constitution. Please. Una no can push we in a way where una go feel to say, we for can give una something, we go against the Constitution, da. And we are not going to do that. The Constitution, inside Section 1, say, the Section 1 of the Income Tax Act 2000 as amended, we say any leave allowances in excess of gross monthly salary shall be subject to income tax at the existing highest marginal tax rate for individual income tax. Listen, any income tax where the leave allowances a pass waiting you they take. Now the highest tax rates now in the IB param. We give you the money, we they take them back. But now you know. But you don't pay back to government. They say it is that the act, the 2000 Income Tax Act, for say now the highest marginal tax rate for individual income. Because I know say that time we be get with your brother Ahmed Tijan, we be in camp for Kai explain say yes. Now be get for make we understand that one they say the tax and they take Iboku. Well the government say, yeah, una say una 100% we don't make now, they can give una 50%, but that una leave allowances. Una feel say we not for tax. No. If we not do them, we don't go against the Constitution. And we not allow abiding governments. So the Constitution say na the highest rates now for charge una. So guess what? Now they charge una. Given the legal implication highlighted above, government no go, therefore waive income tax on leave allowances, given its adverse impact overall revenue generation of government. Hey, this government want money. It want money for say just not because now the highest now then they charge you, and that one day then they charge you go bring more money to government. Yes. And if they do government go losses. And you know say government no one loss. You know one loss. We get to say we can give waivers, or they give tax waivers, but not on this one. Can give tax waivers for them mining company them where they can, because of the way how they can with them big machineries. Now the water queue can give them tax waivers. We get one or other two things that would give tax waivers, but we now na leave allowance boku so like I boku so now they can waive. No. No. Let's continue. Government want money, and then say it go set bad precedent. We go create for the wider public service. The wider public service. All man now go and can tap say, but we wait for the lecturers then. Why not us? Why we not go wait for we? So they don't set that bad precedent there. So teacher, lecturers, una all we involved by this. Una pay with fair amount of tax. Because government get for take, and that same money back government they take, it turn over back, it can give una back. If you don't understand, that's made simple. The Minister of Technical and Higher Education, right? Professor Alhaji, this professor, yeah. Professor Alpha Tijan Wuri. From where Dr. Wuri come over, any side where they mention a name now, na professor. Until we don't talk and I had the last time, I'm not going to allow can sit down again. They can clarify if na professor or na doctor. But who left Andy? Let's continue. Yeah. Professor Alpha Tijanui, as the chair of the meeting, he described it as a special event and an opportunity for the representatives of the Academic Staff Association for make them meet the president in his capacity as the chancellor of the public universities them na Sierra Leone. Now yeah be the wait for say the president na the chancellor of all public universities na Sierra Leone. So why then be send the president in Lanin Boy again? I'm still asking this question. Omar from Minneapolis say then call and testing the waters. Now I made them be sena. Then sena but they not get a good deal. Whilst the chancellor, when are the president of Sierra Leone, him be still lady the wait. Now the chancellor don't step in. But wait too. If when this strike be begin, the chancellor be stepping, then for be say waiting, you not allow the other people and for do them work. Or for say they not be able for meet and talk with the chancellor before they get to the other meetings them. Or the chancellor in deal, na be the white handkerchief inside in pockets, and now they need a reveal and so. Pass away camp and calm. Now just the pull like shake and so one thing, everything solved. And the magic wand. Let's continue. He noted that the lecturers were not hungry for money, but they won't forget a better life. What a way to go, Professor Alpha Tijan Wuri. He say no say, not to how pa money business the lecturers they want to. No, they just want a better life, you know. Like all of we. Who that they will not want a better life? Let's continue. The Vice Chancellor of EBK University and I be the team lead for the negotiation committee, Professor Edwin Memo. He be tell thank you to the president for being patient with them and describe the meeting as a turnaround for the institutions them because of a listening president who attended to their concerns. Hey, Papa God. This now other kudos to the president. I ain't go so. Bingo. Another shot fired. Bum. The president, he don't get cap to him feather. Or he don't get feather to him cap. Any kind of way now. Now everybody they say, thank you, Mr. President. Because you pull the white handkerchief, the magic wand, you wave and so, things happened. Alright. We are pleased to meet the president and to better articulate with challenges them, especially with conditions of service. We are very hopeful. Say the first meeting with the president in Lanin Boy. You know, say the Academic Staff Association, the Vice Chancellor, they're not going to just throw the Lanin Boy on the bridge. It's not possible. Yeah? We are very hopeful for say that first meeting will begin with the president in Lanimboy and the vice president, Dr. Mohamed Jule Jallo, now be also a productive one. Even though after it's done, the strike be still continue. But you say, we not get any doubt about wetin presidentbio don't commit himself to education as the engine for human development. That's now wetin the vice chancellor say of EBK University, Professor Edwin Memo. Now the person will be done they make name na social media. Dr. Willett James, when are the president of the Academic Staff Association of the University of Sierra Leone, himself, he be tell the president thank you for where he intervene through the vice president. I never provoke this man, boo. I left. When he intervene through the vice president, adding that they don't decide for embark on the strike action and then plea for a better condition service. Let them look way back inside 2019. Now we glady, we are happy that the talk and do government has listened to our plea. So, you know how for score political points in Salone? Okay. This is Dr. William James, now they talk now. Say now they said I'm glady. Talk can do. Because I've been talk. Now, talk and do. I did with this so. Yeah? It said with a smile. Even though we not get all what we ask for. We believe, say, as we don't start the negotiation na this particular stage, we go reconsider our action. And the students then go back to the classroom. That's now waiting them be talking and state also. No worry. You relax so they come. In his remarks, the Chancellor of all the public universities in Sierra Leone, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Presidentbio, he did tell the lecturers then thank you because they choose such a noble profession. Aye. Adding, for say in decision for making engage them, now be the best way for make them go. The decision for make the president go engage them, now be the best way to go. I hope say that one they sink small. And he also encourage them for make them put politics aside and think about the bigger picture of development. The president not left and do. He also emphasized for say in government prioritize human capital development. The reason why government and ASA for think and make the universities an enviable place of work, because for right now politics na the enviable place of work na salon. We all know that one day. So how the university and the government of Sierra Leone go able for change that trajectory there for make the classroom go be an enviable place of work? Aye. It's achievable. But when? We can start now, not so, and then say, and then don't begin so. So that it go attract many bright minds from other countries around the world. Other countries from outside, around the world. In case you don't know. So you yourself, they're part of them. But remember, where them begin a state also, where Dr. William James, even though you see outside the sign, you see outside Professor Fawouri the sign, it not be answer they say they don't agree wanted tomorrow. It not answer they. He say but then go end them. Waiting do he always can they tell we say na send they send nam. And not they take decision on in own. So now make me, I don't know who that be write a press release. Where be they accuse Dr. William James say where can go, they go talk. Now on your own he can go talk. You know they talk for the association. I don't know who did that. I don't know if even that one day being official. But then be call themselves say then are concerned lecturers. I don't know if not true. The name stand there, the UBCM. But anyway, this is not the official internal memorandum. Where we pass pa. The University of Sierra Leone. The internal memorandum. Yeah? We say resumption of academic activities. I am directed by the Vice Chancellor and the Principal to inform you that with effect from tomorrow, 3rd February 2021, the university is to resume academic activities which were put on hold because of the industrial action by the Academic Staff Association. We gladly for informuna for say the situation will cause the impasse will lead to the strike action by ASA. They no resolve until today. Not talking but now through the internal memorandum of the University of Sierra Leone, now this then pass within themselves. For say, you are therefore required expeditiously, in case you know that lecturer, we want for drag your foot. They want make you know say, one thing. You are required to continue the activities for finish the 2019-2020 academic year. All waiting you as a lecturer need, you don't hear you, for finish, so that then go able for start the 2020-2021 academic year as soon as possible. This one, now Olive A. Cash Barry. Now in sign am, and this letter then copy to all man. Then nobody not say just no, they not been getter. The Vice Chancellor and the Principal, the Pro Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor FBC, the Deputy Vice Chancellor IPAM, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Commerce, the Dean School of Postgraduate Students, University of Sierra Leone, the Finance Director, University of Sierra Leone, all directors, University of Sierra Leone Secretariat, all deans of faculties, FBC, IPAM Commerce, the Senior Assistant Finance Officer, FBC, IPAM Commerce, and SPS, the President Academic Staff Association, University of Sierra Leone. All man. Yeah? All man. They don't copy. Nobody no go talk say they not be get this. And they don't tell and say expeditiously they should return to work tomorrow. We mean say them be there on strike, but them be supposed for the mark time. Yes, you're allowed to be on strike, but for the mark time. Even as a lecturer, where you say you're on strike, you're not supposed for just throw away all your books, throw away all your materials on that table, thinking to say, we are on strike. But this one, through the president, don't be solved. Let's go to Usman Poli, make we hear waiting it gets for we today. Yes, Usman Toli, you get the platform, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Triple A, and for giving me the opportunity for talk on the issue of the Academic Staff Association, the meeting with Presidentbio, and they agree for return to work, for return back in the classroom, or continue with their job. What I will quickly do, I will look at some of the demands them. What did they agree on? We make them return, they agree for return to classroom. And after that, I will look at some of the issues them, the critical issues them, and analyze them. The Academic Staff Association return one at classroom. They get a number of fundamental questions. But before we go into them questions, then I go on just look at what in the agreement, what in the agreement on. If we can quite remember, say that they ask for 100% increment or adjustment, if you like, as a result of the inflation for the last 10 years we don't take place. And say, for the last 10 years, they don't ask for adjustment, but they're not given. And when they measure the inflation rate from that 10 days to now 137%. But for the sake of the school picking them and other factors them, they reduce them to 10 or 100%. Well, with a meeting with the president, I think say they revise some of them demands here. So one of the things that we are concerned with this thing where you state, they say this, the statement say they agree on almost all of the demands. Because originally we know say ask for 100% increment. But if you look at the statement where you make AAA, you say the demands, the review proposed for 50% adjustment by providing another 25% salary increase for all tertiary institutions effective 1st April 2021. In other words, they only get 25%. Instead of the 100% way they originally asked for, they agree on 25%. Don't forget that the government will not agree as a general increase of 25% effective April 2021. So now they don't give another 25%, so now make them 50%. So it is important for us to know that. So in other words, all the 100% way they may ask for, they only give them 25%. This is not the argument this will be talk about. A good number of we in this forum, even if they may give them 10, 20%, we feel say they will still agree. And this is a clear manifestation, say, indeed, they're ready to accept based on reasonable conditions. Then we talk about the issue of tax waiver they talk about. What in that mean is that then say any leave allowance in excess of the gross monthly salary. In other words, although they ask for tax waiver, where it means say any allowance will pass the monthly salary. Yeah, any allowance will pass the monthly salary. Any leave allowance will pass the monthly salary, if for subject to income tax. So then they ask for a tax waiver. But by law, the 2000 Act, it's not only an office, it's only for this profession. I think say it's across all the other sectors then. Yeah. Where you get a salary, where exceed, where pass the gross monthly salary, you for pay is subject to income tax at the highest marginal rate, tax rate across all other sectors. That's what the Constitution says, the Act of 2000, they say. So what in they argue now, yeah, they say they don't want to go against that law because that's a constitutional thing, act of parliament. So and they don't want to set precedent. Because if they begin to do that, then other sectors, then other institutions then will follow. So therefore, they say they're not going to go down that road, which is understandable. This is not tax, not something for do with an act of parliament. They're not going to go above that. It's understandable. What I will do, I will look at some of the issues them now. I think I don't break down the demand. These are the key demands. But I think the fundamental one here is that they don't agree for get extra 25%. The government don't give 25% because the other 25%, nothing way they don't agree across the institution for the 25%. So let's talk on the issues here, Triple A. You see, right from the beginning, after the Minister of Finance failed, for put it now the budget, the 2021 budget, it don't become extremely difficult to get this problem resolved because they're not the budget, so it don't become very difficult. That is why a large number of the people in believe say not only the president, now the only one who will solve this problem. I feel sorry for the vice president. He put her in a very funny position. Because the fact is, I hear people and they ask the question, why is it that only His Excellency Julius Malala Bio now will solve this problem? It is important for let we know say when they don't make the budget, yeah, now that budget they're supposed to follow. Any other amendment, any other changes them, they get for go through strict, policy objectives. They get, you get for go through rigorous processes then. Yeah, you get for go through rigorous processes. So for make any other changes, yeah, it has to be somebody where you get the overall say here. And in this case, now the president. Because the president, now the fountain honor, where just means say, now the source of justice, now the source of honors, dignities, title, peerages, and privileges. Now the only man will get that power. Past if you want to delegate them functions to in VP, but which you not do. So I feel sorry for the vice president for put another position there. And we all know the president and the executive, got executive powers. Yeah. So if you ask the question, why is it that not only Bio get that power for do that? Undoubtedly, not the only man who get the power. If you pass instructions to somebody else. As have been believed to a very large extent, Academic Staff Association believed to a very large extent that any adjustment, it has to come from the president. Because he's not there on the budget. He's not there on the budget. Yeah? And the other thing again, where I think we get concerned with, well, it's not a concern. I think I get for comment the Minister of Tertiary and Higher Education. He was a little bit diplomatic. If you listen, and I quote, he say he noted that the lecturers were not hungry for money, but they wanted to live better life. I think that was a bit diplomatic as compared to the statement made by the VP. The VP ain't just been cut on straight. I think, when they talk to, especially you talk to academic staff, I think I mentioned this before. It's important that the language, the tone of the, you have to use the appropriate language here for address people the way, when people are way academically inclined. Yeah. So he was very, very courteous. He was very diplomatic. Yeah. I think I give him credit for that statement. Yeah. He therefore incentivize. Yeah. He therefore motivate people that extrinsic motivation. He give them, for come into compromise. Again, we listen to the songs of praise with a mix to His Excellency the President. As a listening president, he listened to Asa the President, Dr. William James. He thanked the President, he talk say, now a talk handle president. It's like everybody, they try forget the best part of that very meeting. Now that, they don't meet the demand. Part of the demands, at least we get 25% increment adjustment now, yeah. On top of the 25%, we government to review agree for give. So now we don't get 50%. Yeah. So in other words, if you been get 5 million loans as a salary, monthly salary, now they can get in April they can get like 7.5 million loans because you don't get 50% on top of what you really get. So that's, at least it's reasonable. That then they argue for. Yeah. And the other issue again, if you listen to the statement made by His Excellency the President, he say in decision for engage, he said that the best way forward. And that he say for let them stop for politicize the situation, put politics aside and think about the bigger picture of development. I don't think there's anything politics in this, Mr. President. There's nothing politics in this. I think all what in the Academic Staff Association they ask for is an increment, adjustment. Because we don't left this thing for a very long time. As we know, from 2011, the salaries of the Academic Staff Association has not been reviewed. And it was meant to be reviewed after every 3 years to adjust for inflationary reasons. But it has not been reviewed. And that has been the major concern of the Association of Staff and Academic Staff Association. Imagine in 2011, if you've been there on a salary of 5 million, up to this time, as we speak, you still pay 5 million loans as a salary. I think it's problematic. How you will able to cope with the cost of living? So the question is, are the proposed demands appropriate? Then demands here where they propose to the academic staff, is it appropriate? That's the fundamental question. But going back to your own previous argument, AAA, yeah, I think all what the Academic Staff Association you want is some form of commitment from the government, which they have managed to get from the government. Whether it is appropriate or not is not as important. It is important, but not what the academic staff more concerned about. I think what the academic staff should be concerned about now is for the government for continue on its strategic discussions, for continued strategic discussions on issues of governance with the universities of Sierra Leone and also in terms of quality assurance. Let them continue to engage the academic staff on issues, especially their conditions of service. Then I'm not left on for too long again, considering the rate at which inflation they affect the country. And considering the rate at which the inflation affects the country. This is why we get a tripartite body. Yeah, I mean, not with the ASA. I've just checked. I think I made a mistake before. I think ASA is not part of the Labour Congress. It's not part of the Labour Congress. Yeah. And this is why we don't see the Labour Congress playing an important part on this issue here. Yeah. I think they get their own representation, which is ASA, for deal with these issues. But overall, what are we saying here? Yeah, what are we saying here? The solution to this. Yeah, let this thing not continue forever. Because I understand the issue where the concern Sierra Leone and Australia have been made. He said these actions are always there. Yeah, industrial actions are everywhere. This thing happen. But then will continue to negotiate until they reach a reasonable compromise and find a solution. But the problem with this, and this is quite sensitive, this is an academic institution, yeah? And this is their flagship program, yeah? It should be given a priority. It's very, very important, yeah? The government say the priority now, the flagship program, now education. Yeah, it will be very shameful for see this flagship program they go down in drain. That is what we may argue now. Yeah, although industrial actions are everywhere, then they happen, but they have to be, they therefore find a powerful way how they will able to resolve these things very quickly. They are not prolonged. Because they deal with education, any long time, if you left them for a very long time, it gets some serious consequences. Because one, then Pikia is done at host, the student and it's done at host, they become idle. Idle mind, they cause problem. Two, for most of them, some of them most of them don't pay their fees. Them, they sit on a house. They know they learn nothing, and it causes, some dangerous impact on the institutions. Then, considering the fact that education, it gets so many externalities, it gets so many other benefits, positive externalities. So if we get to analyze the situation, yeah, I think we get to think about the importance education as a flagship program towards this. But overall, the government don't do well for come together and get this problem resolved as quickly as possible. And I'm happy that they do for return back tomorrow. They don't waste time. Say, let it happen tomorrow. Let them go back in the classroom. Because they know the implications of for left and for too long. So I will stop here. I'll give a chance to other panelists. Then. Thank you very much, Rikwe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Usman Toli.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Make we come with Doctor. Make we hear what thing you get for we today. Yes, Dr. Isatuka Kejalo, you get the platform.
Yes, hi, good evening, everyone. I hope everybody did do well. And thanks to Usman Toli for his own analysis and submission. And also thank you for breaking it down, even though I've been absent for the first part of this program, but I've been also listening at 98.1 while I've been in a salon, and also given the fact that I get a niece and a nephew in a university in a FBC, so I'm also well aware of, the strike, with the professors with them been feel say the need for look back, then contract or look back, the agreement would then get, and I believe saying the right thing then for the right thing them to do for let them really request if we get a contract, some form of bargaining, back in 2011, it's almost 10 years, waiting 10 years, you be the buy for like 5,000 euros. Now, if you look at it, it's going to be way more than that, where I've been listening to the president of the ASA, and she was right in that. And also anybody in the right of mindset in understanding of what academicians them can go through, not to for let them get rich. Really, then they do them for let them go be comfortable, with the job where they choose. Nobody is going to pay them, to their own satisfaction, but they should be also, finding it, like say, what, at this profession where I choose, at least I'm comfortable. I know they feel like say, I go for, scramble or do 2, 3, teaching jobs just because I need for get money. That said, the agreements where they don't do right now, even though not to waiting them be asked for, I believe say the lecturers them, the professors them will be willing and gladly go back to the classroom, because now that they don't sign up for, now that they don't say they want for do, because sometimes if you don't use for do something, even if you're not doing for a week or 2, you're gonna feel like what's going on, and you feel strange about it. So we hope say not only that they don't give them this 25% first, and then followed by another 25% in April, them for also put things them in place where be say this not a recommendation really with make I say this, then for put something in place for say, okay, we then don't do this agreement, so the next 3 years, if not every 3 years, and they do them, review of contracts, or agreements, then get for make sure say before that 3 years they come to an end, they don't begin the voice, or even go to the bargaining table for discuss, the deals them, waiting them want and waiting them go able for give them for every 3 years. They're not for wait till something don't expire and for come back, go fall into this strike mode, because really we don't do this, now the school picking and they suffer. And also we don't know, say the government and the current president see education as the flagship program, not just for basic education but for higher education, and that's now waiting for make we country go forward, because you need graduates then at the country with skills them where then go be prepared. And in order for let you lecturers then or the professors them do their job diligently to the best of their expertise, you get for ensure say you get incentives them where you offer them every educational year. That's really go encourage them, and you go really give them the motivation where they need, then go do what they're supposed to do. And along with that, there will be other things that when they put in place for make sure say then they review faculty, and see what thing really then they teach out there, what thing the graduate then they come up with. And that not what thing we need now salon. One thing though I want to say, I know say this not a topic when we don't talk about, the thing with being called a professor versus being called a doctor. For Dr. Alpha Wuri, the fact that he earned a doctorate degree still qualifies him to be called that. Doesn't matter whether he didn't at the academic area right now versus where he didn't at the Ministry of Health. Not only where he didn't at the Ministry of Health and for call you doctor. Being a professor, then they call you a professor just because you didn't at a post-secondary educational level when I like college or university. So then call you professor. Maybe you have a bachelor's degree or you have a master's degree. But the moment you obtain a doctoral level degree, when at the highest, or the terminal degree, you are, and they should be calling you a doctor, and that's why they call me a doctor. My students call me initially before when I was, just with my master's degree, professor. But the moment I and the doctoral degree, they start calling me Dr. Kakejalo. So, that's now one thing, which I think, is more preferable by professors or, lecturers, because that's not like you don't get a degree where really required for letting give that to you. So I understand, say Dr. Wuri, they get a doctorate in pharmacy. It don't matter whether you get a doctorate in economics or whatnot. The moment you don't earn that degree, you're entitled, and people should be calling you and addressing you as such. Because forget a doctorate degree, it's not a joke. You go through a lot of things to do that. So I hope, say, people don't go understand that, and in also for really advocate for that, let them call them the title where it earned in school, and that
Doctor,
said,
I want to stop you on that quick. Make we get this understanding. So the doctor will then be the call am wey be then at the health sector, because for now since he take over now the academia right now only professor then they call, and then they even put the doctor there anymore. So is that downgrading or na upgrade?
For me, not a downgrade.
Okay, I just want to understand that. Okay, continue.
Yeah, that's a downgrade. He should be still called Dr. Alpha Wuri. Being like sometimes, we think it even happen with me student them, some then they, because they're so used for call, because I teach both undergrad and graduate students. They're so used for call many faculty professors. There are some with doctorate degree, but the moment you have a doctorate, they will call you doctor. That's, it doesn't matter whether you have it in whatever department it is, but that's a change, because all the others probably have a master's degree or they have a bachelor's degree. But having a doctorate degree really, should be, people should be called that. From the day of your graduation, they will start calling you doctor, whatever your last name is. And I think he for really stand up for that and say, no, I am a doctor, in this profession in pharmacy, so I earned this, right? So the only thing though, like where for nursing, for example, or even pharmacy and physical therapies, because now you have all these different doctorates, so when you do call yourself a doctor, like you hear me say this most of the time, either on your program or other programs, I would say, me na Dr. Aissatou Kake Jallow, a family nurse practitioner. Why am I saying this? For people not to be confused, to think that, I am a physician. I'm not a physician. I am a nurse practitioner with a doctorate in nursing practice. So that's why you see the DNP next to my name, followed by a registered nurse, followed by a family nurse practitioner with a C when I a board certified. So each letters then we follow my name gets a meaning to it, and that's waiting at the always voice, because even the medical association at this country, America, initially be the fight, for go with the nurse practitioners, them like if they get a doctorate, it's like they're going to be taking their position away from them. So it was a lot of problems, but then then put out a report in 2011 say the nurses should be given the opportunity to practice to the highest level of education we then deserve. So there's a lot going on behind the nursing profession and the medical profession now. So you see that conflict sometimes, that parity issue can be a problem in the clinical setting. So then can find it like, oh, they should be the MDs. Yeah, of course you are the MDs or you the DOs, but the point I'm trying to make here is that there's many different professions with a doctorate degree, and when somebody earns it, should be called as such. But anyhow, we happy for Yeri say, we students then to go back to school, and with the hope say then self do well, because this not a big delay for them, because even picking the way they learn now remotely, parents then they find it very difficult. It's not the same as when they are in the classroom setting, because as a parent, I know I go through this. It's tough to control 3 children in the house, to make sure they do their work, diligently compared to when they are in the classroom. So we really hope for the best, and we hope say the government continue for review, the professors them along with the teachers them, whether at the higher learning level or at the lower basic, for let them really they try for review and give them within their need as a academicians, because it's really not about the money in when you go into the academic field, because if you think about it, you're taking a pay cut like a 1/3, if you leave a clinic setting compared to going into the academic field. So I say this because these are things that I see, and then as I talk about wanting to have a full-time position in teaching, these are some of the things I have to consider. But that's all I have to say for tonight, and I hope say things will continue for improvement in Sierra Leone.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. However, to K Kabase, he say the medical doctors them at the hospital, then can they make face where they can call the DNPs, not the doctors and nurse practitioners, whether they address them as doctors. Then just one for be They want to be the only doctors in the room, eh? This title. Anyway, make we come with Us friend. Make we hear you. What's in get for we today? Yes, Us friend, you get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Triple A, for giving me the platform, and thanks to all the listeners and viewers here. I will just take we put side Dr. Left, like yourself and the back. Actually, see what's them usually how Englishman they play with them now based on their origin, especially where they talk of areas they people and they work. Because the actual word itself, doctor, now actually a Latin word. All what they tell you and do say that not for teach. Somebody will teach. And then go further for explain where you don't understand. That person we actually don't understand. So based on your understanding of your education, so then give you that level they want that PhD, want the actual title, want the professor. So based on that professor now, because waiting you entail doctor say it take a long time for Sabi, then take you see that master. So because of that master, then they describe you as where you Sabi as a doctor in that field. So, but they then just bring her now again to medicine, because medicine is somebody's skill who is saving life. So that's Sabi what you Sabi, when you don't able for this prescribed medicine back. So then just branch and they. But the word was actually meant for professors and teachers. We don't learn high grade. So then just try for pass and under now for English go sweet, because Latin man then and Italian man then are so. But it's that is the problem, what thing they try to explain. Now they bring all this confusion to there. But the problem is people are not working how they are expected. This is what makes people try to identify people and question. And I been bring all this question I can remember people and they ask why they calling this a doctor or professor. So this is now a challenge to most of them who stand there. Like we own doctor, they say they try to prove them out. They go teach, they try to show others them. They see another field, they work out physically, they go somewhere. So this is what they expect these people who are in higher places. Because when you come to waiting ASA and the government do now, how the agreement they get for can end up to this point after an exhausted negotiation and get end of pan political issue we can just solve in a simple way. Then you question yourself, say the system would have set in place originally, it cost now a little bit more for only can end na this side. Because you look, say, it reach a point now, we'll be very expensive, then we don't want increment, we don't talk, but the graphics of it will happen now. Now, let me just want for just take off. So I'm going to repeat too much of that previous speaker I don't take. It gets to the point where we don't reach when at this last stage, things and be hot now. With dust being day up, not be set too late. So then we don't set up a framework. So they see this framework, now like an emergency group, not put on our way, they wouldn't set up. But before that one, they don't set up the tertiary education commission. In been deep and look for other faults inside them where they need for develop the institutions, for capture this. That was waiting, then tell we. But not to then tell we, then we don't put up actually for let them go find out. But the problem is finding out and bringing these things are sometimes slow to react. Some of them are being acted upon. But that was the thing what we don't they go on while then they go. Then these students can hurt so much. The ASA begin to look at the act where they say every 3 years they get for review. All right. Then they get an act they wouldn't put. So they say that their condition they don't meet up for increasing salary. So the problem for solving go always them just for say there is not enough money to give you based on the percentage you ask for. Then go to this, then go to the vice president to come and the people and meetings upon meetings. That was the final thing where they come to. Then at the back, far back, they get the echoing voice where they say the president and at the last resort who they for go meet for solve this problem. All right, so that been the echo that the people in voice, then they see things not the work. So again, this framework don't go, but the framework they set the group where it comprised of the academic staff, the chancellors, and some of the chairmen, then the tertiary education, They set them, but some of them are McKinney and Commerce and Akenema, all those polytechnics, and set up them. Then they been get the Minister of Labor, then they get the Minister of Finance, together with the Wawuna, the Education Minister. All right, but then not be follow up for go get the feedback. So after this last meeting, you said they be meet up now. We then go meet up. We then get this last long conversation before then the vice president who said they go meet up there. That then go and they make up the big body. So then go come with a feedback of what they don't tell them. So I agree. Then you go look say the other part of the framework not being go, which was the minister, the labor, and the finance. Then at the government side, they were waiting to see part of the framework. What they say before don't follow. But because of constitution, they say, oh no, but they are part of the framework. So then what they count now is that there is still not being accepted. So that one day the students they said, don't hear this, the people they not can agree, we not go agree, we will go on strike. The feedback from the framework. Then we don't get that feedback, say, would that feedback will go follow, go tell Konani to the other one, then what you agree, no go tell them back. That was the bridge where they can do. So you come to the area where in the beginning they get constant engagements. Then now what we done the day before, and the constant engagement you can't seize now. You say you can't seize now the area outside of for Kangri, but you come to the area wherein the one day we get for fund and the availability of this, then at the government, the finance minister. But how they will do them, then they get then your strategy where they apply. They say because now from holistic way, then they look at if they begin give now. We forgive all the other sectors, whether the other governments or civil workers. So that those are the excuses they will then give. And then give back their excuse. Well, now they wait for the Tertiary Education Commission, where the education minister we don't put. So then they can give you feedback of who say we get for develop, who don't develop before can develop, who now will get for take, who will get for be people that who would work inside the institution there. Because they are aware, say certain people they don't say they're not they pay some of the professors in like FBC, then get some they want to qualify, then get associates lawyers there. Then the laws then now they can put now on 25 would they give up on this budget, then don't area and then we don't give a projection of 100%, but then we don't know see they say this April 25 then they get the other 25 it come in the form of the institution get for pay them based on their revenue that then go cover some areas like head department allowance, then other institutions, some FFT, the child care allowance, all those areas if you don't be like the government done. But you question there was no subvention fund where the government supposed for the give towards them for fulfill a bit day, and then they get the other one where they for the payback students there where they get scholarship. So it can be say this the institution from what in they not be they get funds so that they will be content with that side day while then they manage with this. So if they can put it as a stake wherein well the 25 will be for don't give up on a pay, would they put them towards this thing here so. So all those kind of things begin to draw. So they can't end now. They say, we're going to give you, but we say, when you act for review, it don't work partially. Well, we say, we don't act, we know they left and give now because that one day, now for all man. And waiting at that one day, now the income tax, when at the form of pay as you earn. According to the law within a salon, people that win one day, then they pay that type of tax they need. Because they're regressive, they get proportional tax and progressive. But this now one way, at least under that pay as you earn, now in then they give based on the percentage when they pay you. Now they work out from your threshold, and now what they bring in a house and what they earn, that's then they pull them. So now they themselves can't hold them. With the give now over who said they forget who they get, because now that one day we get for take, we pinch back. For level will give now towards subvention. But those are the areas then where they get for look. But you go look and back, say, it might be the president himself is a student. He's a student because he try for writing thesis. He do a kind of final course the way he said they do. And you might say some of these professors have one or two of them might be helping him. So that's why people have been pointing he's the right man to meet. Because people know sometimes. Because inside the land, you know, we're saying outside they can't land. People are from here, I guess, for key and support. So he is a student, but in a more formal way where he be taking on things online and other things. So all of these factors might be, say, when Indon can bring, say, they say, well, the man again, so he has to help towards this thing. Despite it's not the percentage. But the only question here lies now, they have given them, is it going to be an ongoing without hiccups, wherein it then just say, let we give now in principle, but when it can in practice, we go for the owner. We don't mind how many months, not just give them. But until we see it going, wherein they are not complaining, they will not say yes, at least they don't keep their word. Because it can be in principle, say, would they pay? But maybe they don't look at budget projection and income projection where they don't get this on the follow we see that this income will be disbursed for every month for pay the amount of lecturers they are, with the connecting they are. So those are the only area that you question. But now policies then would them before don't go ahead. Then before don't just tell the people, in fact, ignore all that. Then put start with the tertiary education commission. That's a separate thing. That one is developmental of the infrastructure. Then you look at this now, the development of people when they try for being the human resource. Even though they try for know the environment is good, we then they try for upgrade because of sizes then. So you go say no more again. That before don't be another thing what they're supposed for do that it must do to develop that side. Then they come to negotiating this without bringing those things. We then go say now because of this we know the pay una. Now because of this we know the pay una. Because education are for self-reliance. And thank you very much for giving me the platform. And I only hope say then project time in the way wherein there will be income. When a revenue with the government they able for and where they don't know say they project see this and go get them with the situation where they able for pull out every month follow we pay them, not to say we go wait the other month we give them, the other month we not give them, we will cause a problem. That is all what we are waiting for now. But in reality they've managed to solve it in a very amicable way. But after exhaustive one and the dust they settle now, would that eye open, now dust they go inside eye now. Would that be done look different way? But you have to shut your eyes as the dust is resting. And those are the ones now we get for plans. Say we will try to go ahead. Then get side their own lectures. They don't go beyond. Then get people who for don't graduate. Then get still people who they not pay for it. Because then we begin now tomorrow back the university will start again to say you still not pay for these guys their fees. You are paying for them. Then other thing back grab. So then just try see all those areas that we know see this will bring. Let them try settle them. You see, so that they don't go get an outcome wherein agreements will get for be halfway back, then get for bring another committee. Thank you very much for giving me the platform, and I thank very much for the settlement way the government don't do so that things will work out. God bless you, Masalo. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Usfriend.
Most welcome, sir.
Yeah. Yes, caller, you live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
Yes, Albert. Good
yes,
evening.
Albert, you get 3 minutes, sir. What thing you get for it today?
Yes, I just want to piggyback on what the good doctor say. Yes, when you not get your doctorate, meaning whether nursing, criminal justice, etc. Once you get your master's, now professor, they call you. So the good doctor talk fact, just case in point. In my case, at the university, my student they call me professor. But once I get my doctoral degree this year, then I'm entitled to be called doctor.
Can I just know you want to clarify, sir?
Yes.
Okay, but just want add.
It also good old the professor they go back to the class because they don't forget passion. I mean they pass on knowledge to the student. Just a mark issue case at the pass on knowledge. You don't forget passion, love. It's a calling.
All right, thank you very much, Albert.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Kurumasi, he say the community health officers then at the CHOs then. He say now we own country. Then be the advocate of me then they call them assistant doctors. In fact, most of them now doctor then they call them. I think say that one day right too. CHOs are not doctors. Yes, then get then qualifications for health, but I don't think say reach to the doctorate side. Yes, caller, you there live on air? You name and who the call from, please?
To wait on me?
Yes, sir. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, this is Ibrahim from Maryland. Thank you very much, brother. May God continue to bless you. Today, I'm happiest day because I've been talking at this platform where we talk about the academy staff and the government, concerned about our brothers and sisters, they don't sit down, they're frustrated, you know. Like me, so I get somebody who get for graduate this year na FBC. You don't want to meet, they cry. I say, hold on. I say, anything you get time. Now, God don't count the time today. Would they bless, tell the government thank you, especially the president, tell them thank you. What he don't do? I hope say, we say don't go agree. That God can't put blessing there, may nothing okay. They make lecturer in the strike. Because when they strike, now brothers and sisters, they affect. Mostly, you know. So really happy. I don't know what be happen with them direct pass you go into Indipa. But now so God marks now so it happen. So we hope say in future we not get for experience this again. So I really happy, I glad it today we you don't solve this problem because education is very important. Then the government, starting from the president, take on to the ministers, parliamentarians, everybody, then pass through teachers or lecturers. So then people and they like what the professor say or the minister say, for use the word say the academy staff association, not to money, not a problem. The need for live a good life. Because if you compare what they pay there according to the president, what he be analyzed na media compared to some people who they work na yeah, even say based somebody who na housekeepers, the money where they make more than what then they make that. But people and they say, yeah, you get for pay bills. Yeah, you get for pay bills, but you know, if you know economics, you get for you do better thing. Pass some lecturers they holding in that country. They. Me and something I wonder. I don't know why the entire world, why the politicians then they pay them more than the teachers there or the lecturers there. I don't know why it happens so na the world. Because not to salon no more get them problem and deal. Also na the world they really see teacher then they pay them low than the politicians there. So I hope say God will put blessing, let this continue forward. Thank you very much. May God bless we and God bless Mama Salon.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim.
You're welcome, sir.
I want to kick about say, he said, we come and say, the CHOs, they want them call them doctor. He said, because too many titles, them, they're not alone. So, we will be advocates, make them call Dr. Alpha Wee for getting in doctoral title. Yes, call ID live on here. You name and who side the call from, please.
Alan Kuruma, I come from the United States.
Yes, Kuruma. You get 3 minutes, sir. What's in your contribution?
Doctor, waiting at the try for say, you know, just like we did at the military. Of course, the first season of the joke with that, like because we're in a corporal, if a mistake promoter and today a go sergeant tomorrow you into meet up because I'm corporal. It's not a joke. It make that correction right there. If the common populace they put Dr. Willie down in no comments, maybe he happy with that title today. Okay, waiting I want to say back, you know, we tell the government thank you and we tell the lecturers and thank you for sure understanding, even though not 100% like the request for. But I quite believe, say, you know, sometimes we want in the mountain, and for seeing at the sky you want touch. Just in case you miss them, you fall at the mountain. At the end of the day, as long as you're not going at the ground. But to be honest with you, just like with that caller talk, a kind of like, look, I mean, everybody can doubt this. When you watch the politicians then corrupt and they thief, most of them, and in the period pass, you know, lecturers or teachers and when you watch again, you know, most of them people are even no book pass and by far. You know, anyhow you watch and we most man then we get a natural jealousy in we. Because for sure, everybody they go school, for live a better life. At the end of the day, when you don't make an achievement, then you really see, say, you achieve past that person there educationally, then in the live past you, sometimes, the keyboard is small. And just like when the president be talking one thing, say, if you want to destroy a nation, you don't need to go to Alpha jet and bombard the country. Just destroy a nation. And we all be on this see now. The kind of education be on. Like I remember, sometimes back, we had a scandal be there. We lost student and the spy. The education, honestly, not be in better shape. But we tell you, thank you, this government, a body back there, we not give them the 100%. But the fact remains they focus on the education small and then take them for be a priority. Because NPSC picking all be the spy or the parents will be the assistant. For me, then just go through, the exam. It's like now the corruption, the idea, now from school they begin learning. Because you can't go be a nurse or then call you, like lawyer, then it can be said, national based. It's like a total destruction. But we thank God, it's like this don't settle. And the other thing again, this year not just alone no more, but I can see, most of the time, people can show concern. Not so like when we came to America, if we can recall, most of we, like how much have we learned then as compared to today. Although even watch the cost of houses or even gas, this year not just a natural problem. It's like every now and then prices they go up. So we hope and pray that the government could remember them people for the increase in salaries or in benefits. And that's I guess for say thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kuruma. Let's call ID live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
Yeah. Me now Suleiman Bango, I come from Philly.
Yes, I'm Suleiman. You have to listen through the phone because I don't know if you listen with any other thing and about through the phone will be better because there is a delay. You get 3 minutes, sir, waiting at your own contribution.
Okay, thank you, sir, for giving me the platform. Me for today, I not get long contribution. It's like waiting I want let the government know, especially the president. It's a chain of command, a chain of work. Administration, when they say administration, you not get the veto power for let you angry work. Now collective idea, collective work. If you don't give position to certain departments, we get Minister of Education. Why the president for sit down say how many months students they sit down, they not go school, the brain then they weak. But when you talk, people in the face now on politics, you not going to be a dictator in the leadership. Give the right to any department, let them operate on their own. Sierra Leonean we very I don't know hypocrites on our position there. Hey, yes sir. They don't give you an administrative position. Work on them. Why the Minister of Education not settle this problem for how many months? Students they sit down. That's not the president. The president, you get for go big, you get for go do this, you get for go do this, you get for go do this. You have so many work. The president, what you need now for sign when you do a good job, when the president see you file, when you see you report in the sign up. Not to pass the president and they can do your work. This is like now the president they do all thing. Now the president they do Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Education, Minister of Trade and Affairs, Minister of Works. Why them put you in this position is very sad. The side, the country, the whole day, not to foresee, we compare because of we self wallow grow. We America this so. with the president, we want to do something. They say with the vote, then they vote. When the president want to do something, but all the administrative office there, then they do their own job. You get the veto power. Now you administration, you for take a decision because you get a budget where they vote for you for every year. Me, I don't work in the United Nations. Before you work in the UN, you therefore be a volunteer. You be volunteer, then you see your capability of work before ever they give you the position we want. Any administrative position we then give you, now you responsible of that administrative position there. And it will happen there, and it will come out good, bad, now you. Why we leaders them no they give chance to the position the way they give people them? It's very sad. Me, I dey talk to the president. Let him give the power to any administration, any minister. Let him do his job. Not in one grain. You are not alone. You are not alone. You call people and let them help you. This is not time of politics. We there for let the country improve. We there for let the country let grow. Let for cry. Why the president not give chance to a minister? They let them do their job. Look how many months this problem they are passed. Now the car you can't talk. Why you give them people any job? Why? The job is for what? You give they say they say you hold the cow, you hold the rope, you give the person the cow. How the person will go the cow? No, you have no chance. So me, if I take this net, now the only point now let the president give time to the different administration, let them do their job. Anybody who not doing job, let all are responsible. Thank you, Mr. Triple. Thank you, Sarah Network, for the good job. When they do, let God bless you now. Let God make this continue. Let people understand. Let government understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sulaiman. Thank you, sir. I will just take him from Usai Sulaiman stop. If we want for look at him, we don't know behind the scene waiting don't transpire. We don't know behind the scene waiting really transpire. Because if we check right now, the minister, the deputy minister will be in this ministry, they are no more there. Even though we go say, well, you know what? About the deputy minister in the lands now. Well, but the main man will be Didi, Professor Pakima, is no more there. We don't know again. Waiting transpire. The president get the right for hire and fire. But if you look at them, those people were unable to fix this problem. And then go catch, I still want to make we look inside, see, then catch the Academic Staff Association and president for say, not only the president, because we do the Minister of Finance don't go read budgets done. Nobody not get for make that adjustments day. Nobody not get for make her. So the only person now be the president. But waiting transpire before the budget hearing, before everybody go lay in na you building, that's how them be they do am. Before the minister safety can go na parliament, waiting happen that day because Dr. Willie James tell we say, when then they be done, then send a reminder to the ministry for say, hey, budget done now, una member we. Make una not forget. So indeed, somebody be done to turn a blind eye. This now on the part of the ministers then, the ministry. This now on the part. Even though then be done to go instead, oh, then come back, then go, then come back, then go, then come back. So then she say, you know, they fix. So then begin for tower. But what I'm saying is, maybe they have a discussion with the president. If they begin a discussion with the president, say, let tie bargain for them people, now this would they give them. then why now when the president meets now, and they get for do that one day? Then they go and make you ask not to so. I hope because the president tell the academic staff association then say, it tell them body the way represent them say, do ya? Make them not mix politics inside this thing. And myself now so I hope fully say, I hope say no to politics they mix inside this one so. For say now only the president get the magic wand and we wave and so everything don't save. So even Dr. Willie James will be the talk, will be the tower. Now himself don't say yes, now talk and do president. Everybody get for so all hail to the president. So what is the chief minister doing here? In fact, Infos, I not see he take any lead by this impasse. Even though himself na professor. And I want to believe say himself na academia. So is he not concerned? The way, we're happy, or me, I'm happy. Say tomorrow, universities then they reopen, and expeditiously, the teachers they all for return to class, make them end waiting and not be done before. I hope so they all get the zeal now, thinking to say, come April, this is going to be over. So that I make, on the part of the government, please, come April, give them people their money, or else they go strike back. Or else they go strike back. But on a more serious note in Sierra Leone, you remember the same way them be all retired Major Paolo Conte. What thing people them be they say? They say, oh, na for go big the president, and for go big and want it. Even though the household, even if there are rules and regulations, there are measures, there are chain of command for follow. Quickness say na for go big. They are logo big, then people they want say logo big. I think that one day we don't bring calm inside. We're thinking to say, even if we hire people and for do the job, and say, oh, logo big one thing. Oh, now for talk to this person. Now for talk to that person there. That's how we do. Because I feel say if them me no go hire myself. Right? Because what me don't know say the president ain't get the magic wand. I know say across the aisle, rumor be they go say, if you not pass through chief minister, you not go talk to the president, I elect you a minister. I say rumor, allegedly. Let not say just on so three police. But what I be they think, yeah? Me, they hire me, in this stumbling me go meet. I they go meet her. But some man back no go and go, then go say you no able the job. Well, then fire you. No, you for keep them abreast with everything where they happen. Because what you know at the end of the day, if you fail, now they go meet. Now they go meet. Eric George say na Switzerland, the teachers and the lecturers then they earn more than the politicians then. Okay. He say for lecturers them now 190,000. They your money under, and the politicians then are 40,000. Hey. Okay. If for go by waiting Eric George say now, if that is true, let me advise Presidentbio, because Presidentbio say he want to make the classroom an enviable place for everybody. We feel say he able for deliver under. They are presidentbio. Check out Switzerland, they do them. They will go know why teachers them, lecturers them, then they left the profession for go join politics. Because for now, politics now in the enviable position as salon. Naim. So since President Bill want to make the profession, that the teaching profession, an enviable one, that's how you do it, sir. Check. A judge in Switzerland, then they pay the lecturers them more than the politicians there. Let's do it that way. Let's see how many politicians we will get after a year. Aye, the deal has been done. Kudos to the government of Sierra Leone. Kudos to the Academic Staff Association. They have the attention they needed. The president give them. The one that will be there, they will not be able to deliver. The vice president go in talk otherwise. But today the president talk different thing, speak to the language, and now it is done. Even if they give themselves, now make the leave allowance, the tax the commodity, and all across the board. I mean, they not go give them preference over that. Maybe them be done they get away with that. Because according to we own brother we been come now, saying our way this administration can try to enforce them. Now according to waiting we learned from the meeting today, and something with the inside the amended income tax bill for the year 2000. So maybe them don't they get away with it. Well, now enjoy it while it lasted at that time. But for now, this is what it is. Eh? I'll tell us, he said they get money for buy SUV and bikes, but they can't afford for pay university staffs and lecturers then. Perhaps most of those bikes are running as Okadas. Everybody they say. Yeah. Anyway, also go end today on. So go end today on, yeah? I'm about to kick about say all man get for stroke the president in ego. What a shame. Alaji Sila, I don't know that be the response to it, saying that the politicians then get the power, now the responsibility for make things happen, but just because of corruption, then go fail for do their job, so the president get for do their job for them. Kariaba say, if the minister not able to solve the problem, now the chief minister if I go to. Ah well, why is the chief minister? Chief minister busy there. They sell gas right now. Kenema. I mean, what go for go find chief minister in gas? I'll wait for the other ministers the other get for begin harvest. Me, you don't see me small. You don't see me small backyard garden. It's not. I give clean self than this. No safe. All left and so no more. But anyway, we wrap up today on. Even Abdul M. Fatoma, he said he was part of this negotiation for get the government. At one time, maybe don't call the government and the Academic Staff Association for make them try and meet and end this. So today, be for make we know say instead of be part of the negotiating people them at the table so that they will find a way for make all this come to an end. So everybody will help for make this come to an end. We tell them thank you. We hope say this one not go repeat himself. Eh? Okay. Hey God. My guy say chief minister outside. He said that they busy right now. They dance like anymore. Okay. No, be the festive season, you know, say get for give body water. Abdul Bangura say, he say right now in a CEO, but people are still they call a manager. He said if they get right for call a manager. Hey. Okay. Yeah. Salone entitled. Who can they don't call a Anyway. Oh, le fande no more. Oh, le fia. We'll go there back tomorrow. Till we meet again, Triple say, tata.